Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 7 Australian Grand Prix. I am F1 Union, your commentator for tonight, and alongside me is Samuel Drateley. Sam, how are you? I'm good, thanks. We're just right in time for the drivers to ready up for round 3 of 22. 14 tonight, and some returning, some making their first race of the season. And it's going to be very close and interesting. Quali, we're 10 seconds away now from heading in. And there we go. Any prediction of weather, Sam? Do you think there'll be some rain about? Yep, qualifying should remain dry then. As for the race, we'll see in a minute if the Tier 2 chat is absolutely screaming. That's our proof. But yeah, we've got 14 drivers at the moment, and I think the one to watch out for at the moment is T2S7, looking certainly fast to get his second pole position in a row. But can he get that first maiden win around Albert Park? We're going to find out as the teams and drivers just loading in now. We'll take you through each and every one. There we go, we should be loading in now. Right then. Don't need that. Don't need that. There we go, right. Tay's frozen there, looking for favourite for pole once again. Let's see if he can convert it this time. Carbro has found quite a lot of pace on this game. Let's see if he can get another top 5 after, unfortunately, right at the end of Saudi, getting spun around. Chad's F1 Championship leader and reigning winner at the moment from Saudi. He's going to hope to maintain his pace. Hasn't finished outside the top 2 yet this season. Callum, who's going to be aiming for more points. Josh, who's going to be aiming for more top 5s. Cody's got brake issues, but let's see if he can get Mert back on top after he has a new teammate now. Horosia, still got pace to find. Callum could show a surprise or two around Australia. He has done in the past. Luca, let's see if he can do another quali run that's magically up there for the top 5. Smithy, first race of the season after missing out on the first 2. Let's see what he can do in the Aston Martin. And Seb returning after missing out last week. He's going to hope to help Alfa Romeo in that bid to win the championship as they're leading. And then Ben94 being promoted to the Merc after a very impressive first race. Last week he had issues trying to rejoin. He ended up retiring. Logan, after getting a podium and being the surprise of the race last time out, let's see what he can do this time around. And then we have Josh reserving in the Red Bull in P14. As he's just heading out now, we've got about 7 cars on track, half in the garage, half on track. And Sam, what kind of skill do you need to perfect a lap around here, do you think? Indeed, as Carbro now starts his first flying lap into turn 1 with the Haas, taking the curbs right aggressively and taking them very nicely indeed. DRS wide open, the long mini straight down into turn 3, then heavy braking at the blackboard, and then into turn 3, using all the curb, going wide through the twisty sections, navigating your way through all the technical parts of Sector 1. Sector 2 coming up is pretty much just one corner, and it's this corner through turn 7 and 8. The quick dash down to gear 5. He's taking it cautiously and very nicely indeed. Foot flat to the floor now. Line of least resistance right on the edge of the grass. And he's just opening his DRS there. And now through the tight twisty straight, heading up to probably one of the most, if not the most difficult corner, the fast chicane of the left and right. Left, right, and taking all the curb with it, still within the confines of the racetrack. DRS open for the 3rd time this lap now, through the 90-degree corner, lay on the brakes, over the curb, avoiding the outside, and now through the final 3 corners. Just got to navigate your way through it as quickly as possible. Penultimate corner, very easy to go wide and deep and onto the grass, but he's taken that very nicely indeed. Final corner, not as difficult as last season, getting the traction better, and across the line for the 4th time with DRS, he sets a 1 minute 18.4. And now who can challenge that? Callum, 4/10 off. The Ferrari of the other Callum, 3/10 off. And now the Aston Martins. Josh, also 3.5 off. And what about Smithy? 1.5 seconds off. And now we see the Mercedes in the background of Ben by 4/10 go on to provisional pole. And now the Williams of Horosia go into P3. Wow. Interesting. Right, then we got Josh on a lap then. Penultimate corner, as he's got the Alfa Romeo of Seb right behind him also on a lap. So we'll see what they can do. I think Smithy probably messed up on his. Gonna go again. Can Josh get within a second? He's 2 seconds off, unfortunately. What about Seb? Seb goes to the top by 4/10. He's into the 17s. That is a great lap from Seb. And he's finally delivering the pace for Alfa Romeo. Brilliant lap. Right, we've got 9 times on the board then. Still got waiting for Taze, Frozen and Chaz and Cody, Luca and Logan. 5 big names there. And 3 on the outlaps. Chaz and Logan still in the pits. Luca's about to start his lap. Oh no, he's heading in. Interesting. Taze Frozen is just heading through sector 1. So do you want to take us through this lap with Cody, Sam? Sorry, Sam, I don't think your audio is included, as he's backed off anyway. Yeah, it's fine. There you go, you should have now. It's weird, every time I press audio include, it just turns off every time I start a stream. Right, well, welcome along, here's Sam. We'll find someone else. I think Taze Frozen's just about to start his lap, so this is even better. Across the line for Taze,
Yeah.
take it away, Sam.
Alright, so heading into turn 1 and 2, like I said before, very high speed turn 1. He's up into gear 5, not even going down to gear 4 to get that extra rotation. But then DRS now open, heading down into turn 3, one of the slowest parts of the circuits, turn 3 and 4. Got to make sure to get the throttle on nicely. You don't want to bottom out too early. Then the flat out turn 5 as you head down at the end of sector 1. It's a 26.9. Is fastest in sector 1, going through turns at 7 and 8, takes it very nicely. Make sure not to go too wide on the curb, but he does it nice as he now heads down this long DRS straight where slipstream is very powerful if you can have a car ahead of you, especially in the race. Now turn 9 and 10, the trickiest corners on the track. He takes it nicely, enough runoff area for you to not mess up, and he carries on his lap flying in that McLaren, going through another slow speed corner going into turns 12, almost flat out. He has to have a little lift off, now braking into turns 13, turn 14, get the throttle on as early as you can without spinning out. He's got it on quite early. He's going to make the run down to the line with DRS open. It looks like he's going to be fastest of anyone in this session.
Just about by 17 thousandths. Taze Frozen. The car looked absolutely planted, and this just in, it will be wet for the start of the race, 92%. Wow. But I think it will be a wet to dry sort of race, so we've got a very interesting changeable conditions strategy game on our hand. So Taze Frozen then leads away. Chaz still in the pit lane. Pro Cody finishing sector 2 now, and Luca and Logan just behind and in front on outlaps.
So looking at the top 3 sector times, it seems that Seb and Taze are running very similar downforce. What's happening there?
Pro Cody loses the rear, exit the penultimate corner, has to go in the pits. So yes, downforce.
So yeah, so Seb and Taze seem to be running similar downforce. Their sector times seem to be within hundredths of each other, Whereas Ben was 4 tenths down in the last sector. So I don't know if Ben messed up his last sector, but he was 4.5 tenths down on 7 Taser's last sector. So if he can nail that last sector, he can even be in a shot at challenging them.
If his middle sector's quicker than them, then probably his
Is
set
it? He
was
was
probably
slower.
straight line speed
Is
dependent.
it?
Oh,
All three of their all three
interesting.
of their sector one and sector two were in within half a tenth of each other.
Wow.
So I think Ben just messed up his last sector.
Yeah, it is a very tricky sector, probably the most difficult of the three
Oh
to
yeah.
master as Logan's heading through it now. He's taking that very nice indeed. Sparks flying on the back of the RB19 as he heads through the 90-degree corner. Late braking, and he's avoiding any sort of curb apart from that one as he's gone right off, somehow kept it within track limits somehow. But now 3 corners to go then for the Red Bull. Number 897, penultimate corner, slide, massive slide, and he's backed off.
So yeah, Josh went P4 with an
Interesting.
18.1 as Taser started another flying lap. So he's going
Interesting.
twice on the same set of tyres.
So he's
Only
fueled.
8 minutes left in this session.
Yep, 8 minutes 45. He's fueled. Can he beat a 26.9? He's a 26.8 for Tay's Frozen. He's finding more time as Seb is in the pits and Chaz is on his outlap. First time we'll see him as he's just about to start his lap then. As what can Tay's Frozen do in the middle sector? Can he find any more time? Yes, he can. He's nearly 2 tenths up now. He's just got to navigate his way through the final sector. He looked planted last time. Let's see if he can find any more time whatsoever. Heading into turn 12 now. Takes the inside curb. Takes a little bit of the outside curb. And now 2 turns. 14, 15 and 16. Dips a wheel right onto the grass, playing with fire there, but he doesn't lose the rear at all. He keeps it very well neat and tidy. And across the line, this should extend his advantage for provisional pole. As Josh is out, he crosses the line, 17-2. That's what Taze Frozen can do. As Josh will start no
What a
higher than
lap.
4th. Now what about Chaz F1? He's invalid already by the time he's in the middle sector. 29.0.
It would have been the third fastest first sector behind Taze and Seb.
Ooh, Carbro's finding time, nearly 4 tenths up as he heads through the final few corners now. Red Bull in front of him, of Josh into the pit lane. Callum Horozio as well, 3 tenths up. So what about Carbro then? 3 tenths up would put him potentially ahead of Josh, who will go no higher than 4th. Like I said, he might start on the 3rd row then because Carbro has not demoted him. He's improved, but he's lost some time. So Josh lives to stand on the 2nd row still. What about Horozio? He's got to find another 10th in hand if he wants P4 or any higher than that. The Williams then across the line after a few disappointing opening few races for him. Crosses the line, he does go P4 to knock Josh down to 5th. Did you see what happened to Josh? Did he crash or?
No, I didn't see what happened to him.
And then Callum's up by just over a 10.5, which could also... Oh no, wait. Yeah, he needs to find a massive amount of time if he wants to gain any places. He needs to find half a second, so he'll improve on his lap time potentially across the line then. He does by a 10.5, but nowhere near
Cody
enough.
behind him looks like he's going to be into the low 18s. Yeah, 18 flat.
He beats his
Goes
teammate
P3 though.
15 thousandths. So what about Chaz? Here we go then, middle sector. Don't know if that's a glitch of the purples, but he's taken out
I'll have a
very
quick
nicely
check for
indeed.
you.
Thank you very much. As he's heading through this 90-degree corner then. He's got a Haas right in front of him.
Yeah, he was 2 tenths down in the second.
Interesting. Okay then. Here we go then. Championship leader Chaz. Race winner last time and P2 in round 1. Looking to keep that momentum going strong for round 3. He crosses the line. He was P2 to Taze last week. What can he do this time round? He crosses the line. 18.0. And he puts his Alfa Romeo behind his teammate. 8 tenths off. Where has that come from, Seb? Jeez.
He may be even doing his practice.
As we're just waiting for Luca and Logan. Logan just in front of Cody then. Still yet to put a lap time on the board. Just over 5 minutes remaining then in this qualifying session. Logan really attacking the corners this time. Hopefully he doesn't lose the rear. like he did last time. Little bit of a slide, but he's kept it facing forward. One corner to go. DRS open across the
Looks
line.
like it might go top 3.
He crosses the line. It's an 18.3 and goes
Oh,
P9. He
right.
lost a lot of time. It's very
Yeah, in
close.
last sector. I mean, yeah, that, like, from what? 3rd to
Third.
9th, there's
Yeah.
3 attempts in it.
And now Luca. Here we go then. Across the line. Can he get into the 17s? It's an 18.9. Oh, it's a 19.0 for Luca. Doesn't get into the top 10. 1.8 off the pace then. As Chaz F1 will have to head into the pit lane. He'll have one more chance to see if he can better his teammate. But yeah, Alfa Romeo versus Mercedes versus McLaren. But unfortunately, Callum's down in 11th. I'll actually just double check what happened to Josh. Oh, he just said whoops. But he
Probably
was the
just
one.
crashed.
He was the one who told me there was rain in the race. So it'll be
Well,
very
only
interesting.
at the start, did you say?
92%, and then it should get dry apparently.
Oh, so that's going to be really played down to strategy then. So it's not just going to be about pace. If you get the right strategy, especially at a track like Australia, where it's not very forgiving, if you spin out, you can easily just gain so much time, but you need to do it at the right time.
I've seen from earlier this week when it starts to rain, the track gets very wet immediately. But in terms of drying out, I have no idea.
So in terms of drying out, it takes a little bit longer than getting wet. Getting wet, it does it in about a lap. Drying out, it takes 2 to 3 laps. So
Taze is saying
it will be a bit risky.
there is rain at the start, dries up, then it's meant to rain again 40 minutes in.
So that now that is just going to be a strategy call, because if so, I can imagine it depends how long it's going to be dry. I can imagine someone staying out the inters
Potentially.
from the first to the last stint,
Right,
and not
Carbro and
pitting onto
Callum.
the softs.
Callum pretty much has the track nearly all to himself. 3 minutes then, everyone's in the pits. These calm few moments, sliding out is Callum, getting ready for his lap.
He's gone out very early.
Indeed, before they do their final runs. But yeah, do you want to take it away once again, Sam? For Callum, 5.
Yes, so Callum currently in P11, looking to improve, but how close the grid is, even just finding those few tenths could matter in this lap. Going through turn 1 and 2, you want to try and go as wide as possible without getting an invalid there, which he does very nicely. Heading down into turn 3, very heavy braking zone, you want to hit the apex, get the throttle on early. He's all the way down into gear 2. He's taken that very cautiously, not a lot of throttle on entry into turn 4, but heading down past turn 5, the first sector to 27.3, he is 2 tenths up, but he's gonna, how has he not got an invalid there? On the exit of turn 8, it looked like he was going to get an invalid, but he managed to keep it. At the end of the second sector, see how much he's improved by. I imagine he would have lost a little bit of time there, as that was a bit of a wide exit. Yeah, he's pretty much equal on his lap time. He's all the way up into gear 7 there. We see most people going down into gear 6 to try and get as high revs going into the next DRS. I mean, 4 DRS straights now, this track. So DRS, very effective. And you want to hope that you're sat behind someone really in the lap. As he gets an invalid from going off wide, as he's going to come into the pits. That is going to be it for Callum. Best P11.
Qualifying over, really scruffy through the last final corners. As Taze Frozen's just getting out of the way. He knows he can pretty much have one hand on pole position at the moment. But who can challenge him as Cody's heading through turn 2 and he's already invalidated. So that's Cody's qualifying over. So he won't challenge.
Wow.
Ben might be the last to cross the line. Or will it be... It's going to be Chaz.
Horosia also invalidated. Horosia also invalid.
So P6 at best. Chaz will be the last one to cross the line then. He's got, I don't know how long because we've got yellows out. But Taze Frozen then across the line to start his lap. We've got the Red Bulls at the moment leading the way on the track. Josh by Logan. Let's see what they can do then. Josh heading through sector 1. He's found 3 tenths. Logan heading through sector 1. He's found 2 tenths. And then we got the Ferrari.
What a first sector from Logan. That is purple sector 1. That game isn't lying. That is a beautiful first sector.
We'll stay on board with
I'm
Logan.
Pretty sure.
Into Taze.
It is pretty much equaling.
Oh, he's invalid. Yep, yeah. So Taze will not improve. Right. So what about
so
Logan?
Logan could even stick it then onto He could even stick it onto the second row, I can imagine here.
He's lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. If Logan can improve, then yes, he could find himself as high as third. Ben's out, he will not challenge. The Mercedes will be fourth and fifth at best, but Logan's looking good. If he can keep it together, no snaps through the final few corners. Let's see where Logan can put it. The surprise of Saudi Arabia. A little bit of a toe from his teammate. Across the line for Josh, P13. Across the line for Logan, P3. Now we see what Chaz can do. He's 10th and a bit up. Horosia will start 7th. Carbro, I don't know if he's improving. Pro Cody will start 5th. What about Chaz F1 then? A 10th and a half up. We'll get him back up to 3rd. But Seb is P2 at the moment. Brilliant lap from him from the first get-go to put himself still 2nd. But can Chaz join him right behind? A few corners to go then. For the championship leader, Carbro then across the line. He's found a little bit of time. Can he get above Josh as he crosses the line? He gets into 6th.
Oh.
So close. Look how close it is from 4th down to 7th. But the 4th place man, can he get it up to 3rd? Chaz F1, I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
P2.
Second. What a lap.
And there you have it. Chaz F1 gets in front of his teammate to get onto the front row. But Taze Frozen then, 2nd week in a row on pole. Then Seb will be very happy with that. P3. And then Logan, P4. Great qualifying from him. And then the Haas of Carbo splits the Mercs. Then Erosia, Josh down to 9th. A 2nd covers all of them. And look how close it is between Cody all the way to Erosia. So close. And then Josh, Callum gets into the top 10. The other Callum just missing out. Luca, Josh, Smithy, the slowest of them. And now we head into a very... well, what's predicted to be a wet race. Here we go, and look at that.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm watching Cody's stream right now. I want to see what I'm gonna see what the weather forecast is saying. So I will alert everyone to see. Is there formation lap off or is it
Formation
on?
lap's on.
It's on. Okay.
Yeah. So it's inters. Everyone's on inters.
Restructure. So no. So it's inters. Dry, sunny. That is what it's saying.
I'm just going to quickly change my batteries. They're low.
Yeah, no problem. You haven't got time because someone readied up, so...
Testing. There we go. Right.
Yeah, there's someone readied up early, so you're gonna...
Right, here we go then. Formation lap. Everyone's on inters, so no change of strategy there. As Taze will lead them away from Chaz, from Seb. These are sketchy conditions. Inters are usually for standing water, but considering how much rain is pouring down, these tier 2 drivers are going to need to find a lot within themselves as Taze already sliding out of turn 2. I can't see this race, this start being anything but chaotic. Everyone on inters, yep. And that should be fine. Right then, Taze Frozen sliding out of turn 4 on pole position then ahead of both Alfa Romeos. And then Logan and him in the background. Pro Cody has already gone for a spin. On the formation lap he drops down to P12. Just in front of Luca and Josh. And then Smithy. It's even the formation lap they're going to have to be careful. Just tiptoeing around. Can't imagine all the spray that's going to be kicked up this time in 2 minutes. And if we don't somehow not have a VSC or a safety car in these first few laps, that will be quite surprising. So through set 2 now. Just in case of any glitch. Take a pick of the quali order. There we go. As Pro Cody and Callum have been disqualified. I think Cody was trying to move back up the field and he touched with Callum. But yeah, what's your top 3 prediction then, Sam?
What did you say? Sorry.
What's your top 3 prediction for the race?
Oh, these conditions, changing conditions, I think it'll benefit people who are on traction control. So I don't know who that is, but all I know from other leagues, I know that Cody struggles in these conditions. I know, I think I'm going to say Taze to win it from pole. I'm going to say I'll go for a bit of another prediction. I predicted him last time to be honest from Podium Saturday, and he did it. I'll say Logan to get into some either second or third, and then Chaz to finish second or third. Don't know which way round they'll be though.
Right, here we go then. We'll find out once again. Camera facing the rear end of the
Oh,
field. As Smithy's disqualified from session reverse into pit lane, but that's just for the formation lap. 5 lights on for the Australian Grand Prix. Away infested. Who's going to take the win? As the revs rise, and it's lights out, and away we go. Taze Frozen then ahead of Chaz F1. They're wheel to wheel as they head down into turn 1. Who's got the best start? Pro Cody and Smithy are disqualified, and I think we're going to have to do a restart because of it.
yeah.
Yep, restart. Great.
Amazing.
Yep, same thing happened in Saudi last season. Carbo's out. Yep. Right then. That also means we're going to have to simulate the weather.
Oh. Wait, so do you not put it on dynamics? So you have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be into dry. You can only do 3.
Mm. Is that what you saw on Cody's thing as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 2/3 into 1/3 dry.
Alright then. Lobby's made. Formation that will be off, I guess then.
Hey, how many glitches formation lap has? So one.
It's the first one we've had, but it's always Australia. Right, I think that should be good. that that session we were just in, when everyone retired and all that, Logan ended up winning. Right. How many are in? 9. Okay. Right, we're waiting for Horosia and Logan. There he is. There we go. Logan, Cody, Carbro, Ben. If you want to press spectate. And then Horosia, Josh, Callum, Luca. There we go. Right. Right. Oh, Logan needs to pick his car. There we go. Right then, let's try this again. Huh, that actually didn't take too long. Okay, so you said your prediction was Taze and Chaz and Logan on the podium, either second and third, right? Sam? Never mind. My prediction will be Taze, Chaz, and Ben, maybe. Right. For those tier 2 drivers listening to the stream, setups, no formation lap, and Sam, you're back. Okay, cool. And great. Ben will have to miss the start then. Join back.
Means no setup for him, unfortunately.
Right, so you said your prediction was Taze, Chaz, and Logan.
Yes.
Okay. Just waiting endlessly for the players.
Did you save time formation lap off?
Yes.
Okay.
Right then, here we go then. The 5 lights are coming on. It's the Australian Grand Prix with 29 laps ahead of us. The revs rise and it's lights out and away we go. Taze ahead of Chaz there this time round. Everyone's off the line and Logan soaring up into P3 as Seb has had a terrible start. There's a massive crash with the Mercedes and they head straight on with Pro Cody at the back. 5-second time penalty and a VSC already because they got connected and collected, and that is Seb and Cody down into 13th and 14th. Josh and Smithy staying where they were pretty much. Ben down to 9th. It's a horrible start for the Mercedes with him disconnected. Luca 9th. Callum up to 8th. The other Callum up to 7th. Josh up to 6th. Horosia gains a place to 5th. Carbo up to 4th. Logan is in 3rd. Chaz F1 and Taze stay how they are then. Not even 10 seconds in.
So that collision between Cody and Seb, it seemed like Cody got a much better launch than Seb. And then I think they just made some contact. I mean, Cody got a 5-second for it.
They both got 5 seconds. So what did Seb get? Oh, Cody's got no wing.
I don't know if it was... I don't know whose fault it was, to be completely honest. All I saw was that Cody was on the outside. I don't think Seb left him enough room and they made contact.
As the VSC's ended.
Yeah, go green.
Here we go then.
Again.
Josh down the inside of Erosia to take P5. What a move from the Aston. As Harborough breaks and now Josh loses that position because he has to get out of the way and Erosia gets back in front. So Josh stays behind as they all file their way through. Late braking from some of them as Callum goes off and Luca goes into the gravel. And that drops him down behind Ben and Josh and Smithy now as Seb gets past Cody with no front wing struggling. But it's Taze frozen out in the lead then from Chaz, from Logan. And then off is Carbro with Horosia into the grass. And now Callum is up to 5th. just in front of Erosia's. Josh has now made a brilliant start from 9th up to 4th in 1 lap. And now we've got some kerfuffle. 3 wide in the back. Carbro losing out to Josh and Smithy. Wheel to wheel into turn 1 then. Taze leads them away. And then down into turn 1. Smithy and Josh wheel to wheel. And Carbro watching this unfold. And they all get through cleanly. Seb into the pits then. Awful start for him. Cody even worse. They'll supposed to serve their 5 seconds to get them out of the way as Ben gets overtaken. Ben gets a past Callum, who gets overtaken, and now Josh versus Carbro is off again. So 9/10, pretty much the second covers everyone up for the top 7. So Ben's on the charge then. He's pretty much where he started.
He's joined back now, yeah.
Yeah. So Taze frozen by 7/10 then leads away from Chaz F1, from Logan, from Josh, from Callum, up into P5. Once again, a great start for him. He just needs to maintain it throughout the whole race. And then this turn 9-10 complex, in the dry it's hard enough. In the wet it must be torture for the tier 2 drivers as Callum is sticking on the back of Ben. Luca watching this unfold. Smithy just in front of Josh, and then Carbro down in 12th. And Seb and Cody have got a lot to gain. They'll probably be hoping for a safety car or two. But Chaz not letting Taze run away with this one. He's sticking to the back of what could be his title rival in this World Championship. And Logan just holding off Josh. Let's see positions gained. Biggest gainer is Josh and Callum. Smithy up to 4 places as well. Chaz F1 fastest lap. He's quicker than Taze at the moment, putting him under pressure. And we'll just leave it on penalties there. No penalties then, as Seb and Cody did serve it. Lap 3 of 29 then, and we know the rain is going to end soon. Well, sometime in this race, but when will it is the question.
I predict around lap 19, 20.
We'll have it like, there's no point. Oh, it's Chaz, a little bit of a slide there. There's no point going for fastest laps now. They'll be right at the end, and if there's safety cars and whatnot, then the rain will just stop even quicker before the race ends. And Seb is in again. Seb lost his front wing.
Start looking at his mirrors.
Indeed.
Josh is on the back of him.
Using
So
his
Callum's
DRS.
going to have to look at Herosia pressuring
Oh,
him down.
Carbro.
Carbro's out.
And that is a safety car.
That's a safety car.
So Seb
Well, that's
just
going to allow
fixed...
Cody and Seb to...
Seb's behind the safety car.
Seb came out behind the safety car.
So he changed his
Well,
front
he's going to
wing.
allow Seb and Cody to catch up at least.
Yeah, and that saves Taser's race a little, because Chaz was right on him. As Ben gets past Erosia, because Erosia's binned it. He's lost half his end plate. He's got 5 seconds for a collision with Callum. And he's going to have to serve that, which shouldn't change his race at all.
He's got to serve it now, yeah. He's
Yeah.
got to serve it now.
So they should all stay out, unless any of them have damage. No brainer. This brings Cody and Seb back into it. So Seb broke his front wing again. So Carbro's crashed at turn 7 or 6, which is another tricky corner to do. So really unfortunate for Haas. But he is out. Let's see what he said. I lost the car off of turn 5 in capital letters. No. So unfortunate for the Haas. But yeah, this brings Pro Cody and Seb back in. Erosia pits, making sure not to speed. We'll serve that 5. Change his wing. This might allow Cody to even get in front of him. But like I said, safety cars will allow, as Josh has left, great, will allow the rain to stop quicker. And Ben's left as well, great.
I can get Ben.
Yeah, I got Josh. It's not as bad as last week for Ben, but he's really got to sort these connection issues.
I don't think he can do anything about him. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing with connection issues. You can't do anything about it, and you're just sat there. It's just a nightmare.
Right then, lap 4 then. Already a safety car from Carbro crashing out. Seb and Cody connecting as Josh is back in. That's good. Cody's lost his front wing again!
What is going on?
His brakes or something. No idea.
Oh yeah, his brakes.
Pro Cody then. Herosia, Cody and Seb have
Just gonna
got
have to pit again.
a lot of ground to cover. And I don't know if they'll catch the safety car. Right, they all just got to bunch up then, bide their time, and what was going to be
I don't
2/3.
understand this.
may go halfway now.
I don't
Why.
understand how 6 people have got track limits under the safety car.
What?
Cody, Seb, Logan,
Logan.
um,
Interesting.
Taze,
Taze. Ooh.
Carbro.
Well, Carver doesn't matter now, but Taze.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Carbro got one as the safety car came out. But yeah. Taze
Right,
has
so
one, Logan has one. Chaz doesn't have any. No, Chaz has two, sorry. Chaz has
Chaz has
two.
two.
Yes, he got them both on lap 2, so I don't know if he was pushing.
They were both exceeding track
Yeah.
limits. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, Cody's in.
Cody's in.
Yep. Horosia will definitely catch. Seb should catch. Cody, I have no idea.
Will it come in this lap? Does it have to?
Uh,
It can stay out
it
one
can.
more.
Yeah, it can stay out another lap. And the ever longer we stay under safety car, the closer it is to getting more
I mean,
and more
some
dry.
drivers will prefer that, some drivers will
Exactly. Horosia, 3-second under safety car.
I understand it's a bit more. It's wet conditions. I can understand that. But you're under safety car. It's not like you're. It's not like you're pushing.
He got it right here at turn 4, which Seb's taken all right. So it is a bit interesting how some are struggling. Josh up in P10. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Smithy and him starting on the 7th row and last, just picking up the pieces really. The rain, no closer, no different, should I say, than it was at the start, but it will slowly start to stop.
Has Tom completely quit EXFL now?
Yeah, he left
Oh wow.
because Ben's now in the Mert.
Yeah, I
P6
knew he was
at the
in the
moment,
That's
and
what I was
joined.
thinking. Yeah.
He was reserved for
I mean, it wasn't a
Aston.
bad qualifying for Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he can
right
stick
with
it that
Cody.
close to his teammate.
To be frank, I was thinking he was going to be a bit higher, but Josh and Callum now. That
Yeah.
was a bit of a lag there. That should be
like
alright.
it.
Should be alright now. Ben's back in, so he should get back in his car in a sec. And the safety car will stay out for one more lap, and every driver will be behind it now. So that
As long
should
as
be
another
good.
driver doesn't get wing damage.
Yeah. It seems to be the first sector Cody keeps losing his wing. I kind of want to monitor his braking now. So he's not
I'll have a
braking
look at his stream
fully
in a
there.
second. I'm just
That's
uploading
good.
video.
Alright. So he's heading on to the start-finish straight now. As yeah, the safety car will be in this lap. We've lost Carbro. Taze and Chaz have stayed where they are. Logan's gained a place.
Fine.
Josh at 5 places. Callum at 5 places. Ben at 1. Callum at 4. Luca up 4. Smithy up 4. And Josh at 4. Losers at the moment are Horosia, Seb and Cody. And then of course Carbro. And Cody, the more and more he does this race, the more and more laps he does, I'm sure he'll get a bit more confident. At least keeping it on the tarmac. As you can see, the train in front of him now. And now Taze is going to have to get this restart sorted and underway. We have 6 different constructors in the top 6. Mert, Ferrari, Aston, Red Bull, Alfa and McLaren. It's so close in the championship as the safety car is in. We're going to get underway then in around about 10 laps or so from now. It's just a case of who can maintain these inters to the dry period and who's going to have to pit again. That's the one advantage that Cody and Horosia and Seb have. They've pitted.
They won't have to pit again for inters. No,
Exactly.
I don't think anyone.
Oh my!
Cody. I saw that from Cody. Yeah.
Yeah. Slamming
that was
into
extremely
Seb.
close.
Should be alright. They're keeping a fine distance between each other. Seb. Taser's just got to wait until the safety car comes in. And then he can get underway. Chaz is eager to get this restart going. Not getting alongside, just letting Taze know he's there. And the McLaren will lead them away. Logan not on the back of them as much as the top 2. And now Taze is away and Chaz has perfected that restart. He's pretty much nearly alongside. Taze gets in front of him. We cross the line to start lap 7. And will Chaz try anything down into turn 1? He is the championship leader versus Taze Frozen. And they just narrowly avoid each other. Logan versus Josh. They bang wheels and Logan spun because of it. He's down. He's in the wall. and now he's going to drop down to last. Focusing forward, Taze and Josh and Chaz. Chaz taps the back of Taze. They're wheel to wheel for the lead of the race. Luke and Callum battling. Taze keeps hold of the lead, and Josh watching this unfold from Callum up to 4th. Ben in 5th. Callum and Luca waving his hand in the air as he gets tagged by Smithy. Round the outside, Smithy runs into the back of Callum, who gets tagged by Josh, and it's all sorts of kerfuffle. Massive crash between 3 cars. Josh, Herosia,
That might be. Is that a safety car?
and Smithy. Logan gains. Usually there aren't safety cars after a safety car, but there's massive amounts of debris now between 4 drivers of Josh,
Josh
Herosia,
and
Smithy and
Chash.
Logan. As Josh is on the back of Chaz. Chaz has lost out somewhere. Taze keeps hold of the lead then.
I think Josh prefers these into conditions. So I remember
Yeah, he
so
does.
last season in Canada,
Yeah,
he got pole.
it was. And he does love
Yeah.
these conditions. But he's got Callum right behind him as Chaz goes a bit wide. Cody now. Cody and Seb battling in 7th. Seb sends it on Cody then.
I think it's
Cody onto the gravel.
Josh seems to be on medium TC.
Here's as Callum now gets past Cody because Cody went very wide and has lost a position to him. So Luca up into 6 after all that chaos unfolded behind. That's definitely going to be looked at. Ben up to 5th then. Callum is really loving it at the moment in P4 with no penalties, and he's watching Josh on the back of Chaz for P2 as Taze has a little bit of breathing room. As soon as I say that, Callum gets a penalty as Smithy gets ahead of Logan because Logan's in the pits. 3 seconds now are emerging for the drivers, Seb and Herosia. As into the pits is both Red Bulls, I think. Awful race for them now. They were banging wheels, Josh and Logan. And Logan just seemed to lose it.
Yeah, I'm not. It didn't look like it was. I think it.
Oh, no.
Saw that. It went a little bit wide there. The contact didn't look like it was the main cause. I think the contact just unsteadied the car, and then because accelerating on the curve is difficult in the wet conditions, it just spun Logan round. That's what it looked like from my angle, anyway.
Has a 1 second advantage against Chaz, struggling now. That might be another warning. Against Josh, 4/10. Then Callum has to back off from Ben, and Luca falling ever more behind. And then comes Seb ahead of Callum, ahead of Cody, and then Smithy 7.8 seconds behind after being caught up, as well as Logan, Herosia and Josh. They're going to hope for another safety car to bring the rain to a stop ever faster as Taze has gone off. He's lost a bunch of time. He still leads the race, but like I said, the penultimate corner is one you struggle on as Chaz F1. Massive save from Chaz F1. It loses in P2. It might lose in P3 as well, but he's still in this race with a front wing.
AFC Callum up to P3. What a start. Well, what a first third of the race for him.
Indeed, Chaz F1 struggling. Taze made a mistake, was vulnerable, and then
Here
Chaz
comes
right
Seb.
after.
Seb on Luca.
Indeed.
Luca is lagging here, so Seb tried to overtake him down the inside there, but Luca lagged ahead of him.
It's just letting him know he's there, but he's going to have to sit behind. And now BCFC Josh. Like we said, he excels in these conditions. The Inters, the green Inters on the green car, right behind Taze Rosa now, 9/10. What can he do? Little
Seb's
bit less
got Luca.
DRS. Luca
Seb's
stays
gonna
in
get
front.
Luca here.
No DRS, remember, so Luca's going to be blasting his DRS to stay in front. As Chaz is right on the back of Callum. Luca stays in front of Seb, lives to fight another day. But Seb's got a good exit now. And down the inside, he takes him. Luca drops down to 7th, but will he try any sort of attack back? Seb comes the inside, goes defensive. And great move from Seb, who gets rear-ended by Luca right after.
Yeah.
And now Chaz all over the back of Callum, putting him under pressure as he goes into the grass. And now Luca gets a 3 second as Chaz is going to try and size up a move on Callum. He's so slow on the exit. Chaz is literally pushing him, and now he's ahead into P3, and Callum has to let him go, even with ERS. Chaz now goes defensive to let Callum know he's not going to give up as Josh now gets a penalty. Chaz up into 3rd, Callum struggling there in P4 now. Ben is still looking clean with no pens. Let's see, Logan is ahead of Herosia now. Josh sliding out there. 1 second now between the top 2. Callum right over the curb going off there in P4. Cody now gets 12 seconds of
No, it's
penalties.
the glitch. It's the glitch. It's the glitch.
Jeez.
I was watching that. I did just see it. He just ran wide at turn 4,
Well,
and
hopefully
he
he can
got
get that
yeah.
removed.
He definitely will. I
Did he
see
even
it.
have any before this lap?
No.
Jeez. Right, Callum's on the back of Luca then. Using his ERS, going to go around the outside. No, he's going to have to switch to the inside through the tight chicane. He's angled his car very tightly and narrowly just avoids getting spun by Luca. Good placement there from the Alpha Tauri to not spin him. Luca's learning how to battle. He's battling great to hold off Callum at the moment. He might not have the pace, but he's got the sheer commitment to hold on to the position as second, third and fourth are all closing within one another. Ben just watching this. It's just about keeping the car on the road until the rain eases off. As here's a battle. Cody's gaining on Callum versus Luca now. As Josh has lost a heap of time to Taze now, nearly 3 seconds. 40, 79, 33. And Taze is on 65. So Chaz made that mistake, lost 2 positions, has already gained 1 back, and now he's got to fight Josh. Once again, like we saw in Saudi, it was Chaz from Josh. Now it's the other way around. Not exactly the dominant performance we're seeing from Chaz at the moment. Callum gets another pen. And this time Chaz has to work for it to keep his 100% top 2 podium record at the moment this season. He's the favourite, but we got drivers like Taze and Josh challenging him all the way, who've had unlucky starts, who've missed races. And now Chaz is on the back of Josh. He's gaining and gaining, but he's not close enough for any sort of move through the chicane. But he's going to size up a better exit now as Josh goes over the curb. But using his ERS now seems a bit too far back. What about Callum? He's pretty much the same distance as Chaz is to Josh. He goes wide. That might be a warning, and no sense of an overtake there. Josh gaining on the back of Callum, who's losing time now. 3.2 for Taze. And does the rain look any different than what it started with, Sam?
No.
No. So
No,
it's going to
exactly
change
same.
instantly, probably. But we're not halfway done yet. We're about, I want to say 30-ish percent, 40-ish percent done. As Taze Frozen comfortably leading now. Just edging his gap over Josh. Under pressure from Chaz. Seems like Josh has really put a lot of work into those
Cody
inters.
looking up the move on Callum for P8.
He does indeed, down the inside. Very nice, clean move. Callum lets him go. And sliding out, Callum may sense a little opportunity to get the position back. It depends if he's later on the brakes, which he isn't. And he has to stay behind, go wide, and Cody's got the move. So closest battle besides them is Chaz, who's just gone off again to Josh. He's got so much more ERS as Josh is blasting it to keep in front. Onto the grass, nearly kicking up everything he can throw at Chaz. I'm sure if tear-off visors were a thing, you'd do that too. But Chaz just staying behind Josh. And through chicane, putting him under pressure. And these are immense conditions as Callum gets another penalty. These are immense conditions to stay focused and not fall under the pressure. Which is what Taze is doing at the moment. He's driving a great race after the early stages being under pressure from Chaz. This is allowing Callum to fall ever backwards to Cody. But I'll tell you what, Ben, I'll tell you what, Seb has been gaining a lot. And now he's on the back of Ben. The Alfa Romeo versus the Mercedes. And he's even tagging him. He's pushing him through the final corner. And will we see Seb, who really likes these conditions at the moment, as Chaz has now got ahead of Josh down the inside. Easy move for him. Now, can the Alfa Romeo both get a move into turn 1? No. Seb too far behind Cody to make any sort of move. Can Josh try anything back at Chaz? No, he can't. Has to spot his braking to not run into the back of him. And that's perfect. Same with Seb. Once again, no Bottas's. Right, and Logan, while all that happened, 5 seconds lost to Erosia because he was in front. As Callum is on 12 now. He's just lost all grip. Or he's just really not caring about track limits. But here comes Seb. He's used everything compared to Ben, who's still got 80% ERS to Seb's 17 to stay in front. Now Chaz has to hope that Taze gets a pen. How many warnings is Taze on? Sam, is it still 3? As Josh
Ooh,
gets another
Josh just
pen.
got 3.
Is it still 1?
Let's have a look.
Right, Ben just in front of Seb. 5% now as Herosier
It
now
is
gets
indeed
his
still
second
1.
pen. Still 1. Seb all over the back of Ben. Mercedes versus Alfa Romeo. Mercedes, who looks so strong after round 1, have got to find themselves again. It's going to be a season of hard work to get them back up to the front. They've got Ben, they've got Cody, they know they can do well, but at the moment they're struggling, and Seb spots his opportunity to find a gap, and now he's going to go wheel to wheel with the Mercedes, but with less ERS than Seb. Seb can just stay in front, and Ben can just stay in front, and Seb has got nothing to show for it, as Ben really has to clear Callum as soon as possible. Josh sticking with Chaz though, he's not letting him get away fully. And it's a good battle so far.
I'm just going to have a look at... Ooh, Chaz sliding out there.
3 seconds, Chaz has slowly been gaining on Taze.
That's what I'm just having a look at now.
He took a massive 4 tenths there.
It was Taze's last lap. He gained a second on him. He must have had a mistake in the last lap. I'm trying to see what sector it was. Last
Seb got
sector.
Ben made a mistake or something because Seb has got back in front of the Mert, but the Mert's coming back at him with so much more ERS to go around the outside in the wet, and he gets the position. So close, but great racing between Ben and
What
Seb.
a move that was.
Who's right on the back of him? He's coming back. He's in the slip. And
Josh down
speaking
the inside of
it's
Chaz
Josh
as
and
well.
Chaz. He forces him off, and Chaz stays in front. The Alfa Romeos are getting in some mega battles at the moment, and I think it's all fair at the moment. Look at that defence from Ben, turning a slide into a block, and Josh going wide, can't quite get past Chaz, but Chaz loses the rear a little bit, and it's these sketchy conditions.
The back of Ben. A little bit of contact there.
Seb just needs to save his ERS to try a full attack because Ben's just playing around with him at the moment. He's just, look at that, he's just pulling away with no DRS to help
Chaz
Seb.
is sliding.
A second now. Seb's lost time. That was great racing from both Alfa Romeos and Josh and Ben. Inch perfect for Ben to go round the outside. 3.2, the gap's gone back up a little bit now. Because, like you said, Chaz is losing time sliding about. We're on lap 15, we're halfway done now. And the rain still looks no different to when we started. You predicted lap 19 at the start, didn't you?
I did.
Interesting. Here we go then. Seb versus Ben once again. Ben is using it this time. Seb is pressuring him. If you can gain through the corners, then this is working perfectly. But this is allowing Callum to just pull away, finding the pace in the car once again, but unfortunately not finding the pace to stay within the track limits. With 12 seconds, if there is a safety car, he's going to drop down quite a lot. Callum could gain quite a bit if there is a safety car. As Josh goes very wide into the grass, which will lose him a lot of time. To Chaz, like I said, penultimate corner is so difficult to get right on braking. And here we go then. Seb is now back up to nearly 40%. Ben loses the rear, and this is the opportunity Seb's looking for. But he doesn't use his ERS. He's still putting Ben under pressure. He knows he can get him properly in the middle of the lap. And this is the battle of the race at the moment. He's got a good turn 1. He's got a good exit of turn 2 as Cody is past Luca, who's into the pits. He can't make those inters last. And this is something we should have talked about more, Sam. What about the front guys? Because they put these inters on the whole race.
Why has he gone to another set of inters?
Because it's nowhere near time for dries, as Ben is just in front of Seb there. He's got no other choice. You put dries on now, you're going to be sliding around so much.
I know, but can't you just extend it a bit longer till the dry stint?
Seb runs into the back of Ben nearly. These inters must be screaming. 16 laps. Yes, there's been a safety car, but these inters surely can't go any much longer. It's going to be about who has looked after them the most to take them to the dry period.
Is it me, or is the rain getting a bit lighter?
It literally doesn't look any different.
No, it's just me then.
Probably. But Seb just backing off a little bit now. Ben using his ERS down to 50 then, bit by bit. It was 80 to 20, now it's 50 to 40. And now it's nearly equal terms for both drivers. Cody 10 seconds behind them now, as Smithy is just holding off Arozio, who's been catching a lot on the Aston Martin. His teammate losing time to Chaz with 6 seconds. I still don't see why Ben can't get a podium here. If you look, leader, Ben's only 12 seconds off the lead. As Chaz gets another penalty. 6 seconds now as Arozio gets past Smithy. Down the inside. Must have been a good move. As Seb gets another penalty. These old Inters, as well as a track you're already going to struggle at, penalties galore. And that is going to cost braking like that for Seb, who must have hit Ben 3 times in the last lap now. The gap is staying roughly the same. T's just edging out a little bit. As Smithy comes back at Arozio, who goes into the grass. As Luke is also involved in that. As Smithy gets past Arozio.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
All 3 cars, somehow Luca arrived on the scene, but I think Arozio came back around the outside of Smithy, who didn't leave him much room. Seb's just biding his time on 40 to Ben on 56. And the top 5 are starting to gap out a bit now. Callum slowly gaining on Cody. And when will Seb decide to strike? Which one of these 6, as Callum goes deep there, is going to perfect as Chaz has spun? Final corner. Chaz has spun and that allows Callum back in the 3rd. What about Ben? He's coming around the final corner now. Chaz will stay in front or not because he hasn't got the momentum. And he drops behind Ben and he might even drop behind his teammate. Chaz F1, the championship leader, has spun. He saved it earlier. He's spun it this time round. 2nd down to 6. I was going to say which one of these 6 is going to perfect the strategy, not which one of these 6 is going to fumble first. As Josh has got more penalties, running down in last, 42 seconds off the pace, nearly lapped. Arozio then coming back at Smithy. Will he try the inside this time? Yes, he does. Will he leave him the room? He locks the wheels. He bangs his side pod. They still face forward. Smithy stays in front. So here we go, the 2 Alfa Romeos then versus Ben. Chaz gets past Seb, easy move, you let him go. And now it's going to be Chaz versus Ben for P4. This is going to really help Taze Rosen out in the lead. We're about to start lap 19 and the rain still hasn't budged.
However, I am watching Cody stream in the background. I had heard 5 minutes left of rain.
Interesting. So we should 100% get dries for the end of the race. But as Smithy and Arozio wheel to wheel onto the straight, nearly onto the grass, Smithy gets back ahead of the Williams. But the Williams is now coming back at Smithy, and they're going to go wheel to wheel through the chicane. And Chaz and Ben battling as Smithy and Arozio battling. They bang wheels. Ben and Chaz still face forward. And it seems like Arozio has got past Smithy. Good racing at the moment. Here comes Chaz then. He's in no mood whatsoever and he wants to get this move done, but Ben's not letting him. Later on the brakes is Chaz to tap the back of Ben once again. And Seb watching this unfold. 12 seconds now for Josh. Here we go. Does Chaz try any sort of move? He's got the ERS. Will he try a send down the inside on the Mercedes? Ben will have to leave him the room. Chaz leaves him just about enough as they're wheel to wheel heading through turn 3 and 4. And can he go fully around the outside? Yes, he can. Chaz F1.
Brilliant move.
What a move from Chaz F1, but Ben will come back at him now. Seb's on the pressure. Can't quite get him. Absolutely inch perfect from the Alfa Romeo. And now he's in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. As Chaz is away. As we've got a yellow. Josh is out.
There's a yellow flag.
On track.
Could be a safety car. I would
is a safety
pit onto
car.
softs or mediums. Pit onto softs or mediums. Go.
This
Mediums,
is the gamble
I'd say.
then.
I would. If I was anyone in this race, I would take the gamble.
That is not a bad gamble as well. So what do they do? This decides the race pretty much. Unless there's another safety car. We have 10 laps to go. And according, if there's 5 minutes left of rain, Taze stays out. What is Taze doing?
Josh comes in.
Josh comes in. Oh, Josh stays out. He's done a Hamilton. What about Callum? Callum stays out. They're going to take these inters to the dry period.
I don't think. Yeah, I honestly, I think they're messing up with this. I don't
Any
think
one
it's
of
the
these
right
guys
strategy.
pits. Seb! Seb! Go on, Seb. He's pitted.
I
And
think
what
Cody
about
is going to
Cody?
as well. I think Cody is. Yeah. Yeah,
They
Cody
got
is.
nothing to lose. He slows right down there. So this is going
Yeah.
to be very interesting. The top 5 have stayed
I
out.
think they are. I think.
Mediums.
I think. I think Seb's won this race.
He's won one race
Unless they
before.
pit.
Baku.
Unless they pit next lap.
True.
The top 5.
Cody had wing damage. That's the 3rd wing
Wow.
he's changed now.
I think Seb's
Softs.
won this race. Honestly.
It depends if
The
he can
fact
keep
that
it facing forward under the safety
He's
car.
kept in P6. He hasn't lost any positions, but he's on the dry tyres.
True. Logan and Lucas stay out. Seb's in front. But it depends if Seb can just... I'd go AI if I was him. Because look how much he's struggling. Just to stay in front.
Honestly, this is easily gonna. I think the people who are. Look, it stopped raining. It's barely raining now.
It's raining still, but it depends.
Barely.
If it's still raining by the time we restart, then Seb's going to lose
It won't
time.
be.
But if it dries up enough, it's going to be
No,
so
it won't
close.
be. By the time we restart, it will be a dry track.
It's
Calling it.
so close to stop raining now, but you can clearly tell the difference. Luke on the Macca, Seb. So Cody for the mediums, Callum on the softs, and Smithy for the mediums, who's gone right deep there. Horosia, who's pitted for new inters. He's the only one to do that. And look at the top 5, 19 lap old inters. This could be a defining moment. The last lap was already defining enough. Which one of these 5 is going to realise they can pit? They're all 5 different constructors. They all won't get held up. But who makes the decision? Does Tay stay out? No, he comes in. And so does Josh. And so does Callum, who gets past... who gets overtaken by Chaz because the pit lane is not part of the racetrack. And Ben stays out. So Chaz gets past Callum in the pit entry. They're all going to pit onto dries then. Taze opts for the softs. Chaz opts for the softs as well. Josh opts for the mediums. Ben has stayed out on inters. So Seb
to be up there.
takes P2, the net race lead, ahead of Taze, ahead of Josh, ahead of Callum, who gets back ahead of Chaz. What's happened to Chaz? Chaz has spun! Chaz has spun again.
Oh my.
He got past Callum, and Cody's now in front of him. And Cody lets him go because it's an illegal overtake.
That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be.
Cody 7th, Luca 8th, Callum